Hi, this is Bird from Birds SVGs, and in this video we'll be putting together the Pearl Wreath Card, and that's from the Festive Gems SVG Collection. And before I start, I just need to apologise for my voice because I've got a cold at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to put the card base together, so I'm just folding along the score line, and then I'm going to add my insert into my card. Now I know it seems a little bit strange to be adding this insert because the card base is actually pale enough for me to write the message directly inside it, but this insert not only adds some strength to the card base, but it also helps counterbalance against the front of the card, because you know there's a few layers going on in the front of the card, and you want to balance that out a little bit. Okay, so once I'm happy that that's in place, we can start to work on the front layers. So I have this glitter layer that I'm adding onto a gold layer. So I'm just going to add some glue to that. I'm gluing these two layers directly together, and then I'll be gluing them directly onto the front of my card. But you can alternatively, if you want some more dimension, add some 3D adhesive onto the back of this card, whether that's glue dots or foam pads or whatever it is that you use. So you could add another layer of dimension here if you wanted to do that. Trying to add a thin layer all the way over rather than a thick layer of glue. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that this is central and all lined up with the outside edge of my card, and I'll just put some pressure down onto my desk and let the glue take hold. And then we can start working on the pearl layer. So you've kind of got this template layer here, and I'm gluing this directly down onto the gold layer. But if you're using loose gems, I'm using self-adhesive gems, but if you're using loose gems, what you might want to do at this point is actually add some double-sided adhesive. If it's tape, just add a load of layers all next to each other over that wreath area. So then if you've got loose gems, when you put that down onto your gold layer, you've got little sticky dots that you can pop your pearls onto, so you haven't got to add glue into each individual hole. Okay, so like I said, I'm using self-adhesive gems. Now for this design you'll need 4mm, 5mm and 6mm. So I think I'm starting off, with the 6mm first of all. And then I'm moving on, I think this is possibly the 5mm. And then, so I'm working size by size all the way round. Now you don't have to use coloured pearls like I am here. You could use rhinestones. I think green gems would look great in this, especially if they were different colour greens. Add some, bit of interest there. Or alternatively, I was thinking that you could use some of those dimensional liquids, like Tonic do a great one, Nuvo drops. There's Stickles, liquid pearls, those kind of things. I was thinking that if you don't have a load of, gems or pearls, that if you do have any of those liquid varieties that you wanted to use, I think especially if they're the kind of ones that dry dimensionally, that give you that kind of faux pearl or faux gem look, or glitter dot look, then that would be great. Alternatively, I was thinking if you could either put maybe glitter paper behind this area if you didn't want a dimensional look, or maybe add the 3D double-sided tape behind this area, and then maybe sprinkle some glitter over it, to add a bit of shine like that. So I think there's lots of different ways that you could actually use that kind of template. Okay, now I'm adding a real silly amount of 3D foam tape. I have loads of the stuff, and I know sometimes it's difficult to get hold of. I actually purchased mine from the DIY section of different shops that I go to, and I find it's really affordable that way. But I nearly forgot there. The tip that I've got for adding 3D foam tape onto heavily glittered paper is to add some glue onto your foam as well. Because I found after a little while, with it being on display, the foam tape can release and your layer can drop off. So add a bit of glue to it and that'll be enough for it to hold. Now, what is a wreath without a bow? So I've got some glittery ribbon here that I've done a bow with. Now, I couldn't, as you can tell here, I was having some real trouble deciding whether the bow should go at the top or the bottom. In the end, I decided to go with it at the top because there seemed to be a little bit of a gap there in the pearls, and I thought it would be perfect to put it there. But I think it looks just as good on the bottom, so the choice is yours. And I'm actually popping my ribbon in place with some silicone glue. So that takes a little minute to dry, so I'm just going to set that aside, and then I can start working on my envelope. So I'm just folding along all of the score lines, and then I'll add some glue to the bottom two edges of my side tabs. Just hold it for a moment for the glue to take hold. And then carefully fold along that top line because the design is quite close to the edge. And then I'm adding some glue around this wreath design that's on the flap on my envelope. And I'm just dabbing some glue. You're doing it too heavy. And then I'm adding just one line of glue around the liner edge, just around the very edge of it, so it doesn't show through the design. And I'm just trying to get that in the middle of the flap. And then that's it. The envelope is done, and so is your card. I can't actually pop that in because the silicone hasn't dried yet, but it will fit in your envelope, no problem whatsoever. And I hope that you enjoy making these cards and gifting them to your friends and family.